Hi, I'm Rabbi Daniel Lapin, and I want to continue imparting to you specific tips and strategies that will dramatically increase your effectiveness in communicating. And it doesn't matter whether you're speaking to a large audience from the stage or whether you are communicating with a business associate, whether you are discussing a transaction, or whether you're communicating socially at a family gathering, or whether you are in a romantic situation and you are communicating to your beloved. In all of these areas, there is a huge and monumental difference in how effective you are, depending on how you sound. I've explained in the past that one of the crucial first steps in improving your ability to communicate is to read aloud for at least 90 minutes a week. And I've explained that in an earlier program. But since that time, a number of people have written to me with the questions of could they multitask? One person wrote and said he's in seminary and he has many texts to get through, scriptural texts, explanatory texts, and so could he use those to read aloud from, and that way he'll get through his coursework and at the same time develop this technique of your ear hearing what your mouth wraps itself around. People in law school and medical school have asked me, hey, I've got to get through the treatise of John Locke. Can I read that aloud to myself so as I can improve? I've got medical school textbooks. Can I use those? And the answer is very unequivocal. Like almost every part of life, trying to do two things at one time almost never works. You've got to be focused on one task at a time. And in this case, the task is improving your ability to communicate, to make yourself sound more the way that you wished you sounded. To do that, you have to read good books, books that are contemporary and books that sound the way you wished you sounded. That's what you've got to do. Now, I myself read speeches that have been printed in books, speeches of people like Winston Churchill, for instance. There are speeches of Abraham Lincoln. Now, not for one moment am I suggesting that you should read aloud the Gettysburg Address so as that you can put your arm around your beloved and say to her, 77 years ago. Of course not. But nonetheless, I still read the speeches of people because they give me a sense of the rhythm and the cadence of speaking. And so when I recommend that you read aloud for 90 minutes a week at least, it's not only in order to gain vocabulary, and it's not only in order to increase your fluency, but it is also to give you a feel for the way language flows, and that your words and your sentences appear to be almost waves flowing up onto the seashore. And this is done in some cases by means of alliteration, where you choose a sequence of words that all start with the same letter, or sometimes it's by pacing the communication so as it feels as if it's waves of persuasive content arriving at the listener's ears. And you can get that from reading aloud from the right books, not textbooks, not ancient volumes, but reading aloud from books that sound the way you wished you sounded. You can really make a huge improvement onwards and upwards.